Welcome to Financial Health, a 5-minute conversation with Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management, focusing on your current and future financial goals. This is Financial Health on WOMT.
Welcome to Financial Health. It's WOMT 1240 AM, 1079 FM, and streaming at WOMTradio.com. I'm wondering if I should string this intro out a little bit longer.
I'm ready.
There he is. Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management. How are you, my friend?
Just trying to catch up on some numbers here for you. I'm excited. I love numbers. I love studies, but I'll let you do your intro and then you tell me when you're ready.
Well, welcome to Financial Health, listeners. And again, that is Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management. Very excited today because we're talking about inflation. Now,
that does excite me.
I know, but to some people, that may be a buzzword they don't like hearing, because that's one that's tossed around a lot these days, Jason.
So I did a joke. I don't know if you caught that at the last week episode.
Okay.
But I ended with sticky inflation. It's sticky situation, I think I said.
You did, yeah.
But that's what we're calling it in the industry.
Okay.
So the Fed, the government, and financial advisors, the stock market, Wall Street, it's kind of synonymous with sticky, meaning that it's staying. It's not going away. As some maybe hoped it would go away.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, looking around, it's here to stay. So yes, inflation is a little sticky situation, but I don't know if you want a lot of numbers. I got some numbers. I got some info, but do you have questions?
Yeah, I certainly do, Jason. Well, first and foremost, and this may seem like a very elementary question, but inflation is due to supply and demand?
Precisely.
Okay.
Lots of supply, meaning money supply. Money supply entered the market within COVID times, and it was, I don't want to say drowning the market, but there's a lot of free money. And I say free, but there's a lot of money. Let me rephrase that.
There we go.
A lot of money floating around. And like simple supply and demand metrics, that's what causes everything else to raise.
Yeah, certainly. So, wow. So that's so interesting how the ripple effect can, really echo years later in these economical situations.
It takes, on average, from the study I read, it takes about 6 to 10 months on the low side for that money to enter the market. What with COVID in this situation, it took probably 12 to 18 months, so a little bit extended. So now we're starting to see all those effects then of inflation.
Certainly.
And we're talking about the cost of living. And as we discuss investments, retirement planning, college planning, all those things, cost of living is going up, which means if we're making more money on the salary side, hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah, of
Income's
course.
going up. But then that just means you have to save that much more when you retire.
Exactly.
And that's where we're seeing it. So,
and Jason, from you, obviously, the 50-30-20 rule, I've been trying my absolute
you
hardest.
remember that, don't you?
Yeah, I've been trying my absolute hardest to abide by that. But you're right. I'll be the first person to say the cost of living is kind of, I have to adjust those figures because of that.
Yeah.
And you're right. And this is everywhere, Jason. This is cost of living. This is grocery prices. This is everything, it seems like, that's just going up.
Yeah, and we all see it. We all feel it. We're all living it at this point. And it was a competitor of mine released a study, Northwestern Mutual, released a study, and that number that they're saying for their survey is the average person on the survey said that they need $1.5 million now to be comfortable to retire. Now, we always talked about that $1 million mark, and how that looked, but that's 1.5 now. So it's a 50% increase.
That is. And you and I both know $1 million isn't what $1 million used to be. Like,
it's tough.
Who wants to be a millionaire now? Like, you remember that show back in the day?
I do.
Like, that was an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
Now that's $1 million?
Can I tell you some disappointing news, though?
Please.
They followed that number, and again, Northwestern Mutual, the survey, followed that number with the average person. What do you think the average person saved on the survey?
Oh, man. How much they saved for retirement in total?
Based on the survey.
I'm going to say $500,000.
$88,400. Now, they don't really reveal the age. They don't reveal all that stuff.
Of course.
But if they're saying, these people, respondents are saying they need 1.5 and they only saved 88,000, my math says that's 17 times more you have to have. So something's got to change. Something's got to give. And that's what retirement planning is. When we work with planning, there's a lot of variables. Cost of living, part-time jobs, when you want to retire, where do you want to retire, how do you want to live in retirement. Those are the inputs that we use for retirement planning. We can adjust all of them, adjust some of them, but we talked about this in the past. With planning, you tell us as the individual, what do you want to see adjusted or changed, and we can show you real time. How does that impact your plan?
Exactly, and that's the great thing, Jason. You, again, at the top of the show, we said inflation, it's a sticky situation, it's not going away. But what we can do is work around what we have, and that's what you do, Jason. So if anybody has any questions for you, Weier Wealth Management, what's a good way to reach out to you and your team? Yeah,
website is weierwealthmanagement.com. Weier is Weier, wealthmanagement.com, Facebook, and online, and also Appleton and Manitowoc offices. 920-242-9470.
Awesome, Jason. I'll talk to you next week. It's WOMT.
Securities offered through Advantax Investment Services, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Advantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Advantax Insurance Agency. Views and opinions presented in this podcast are those of Jason Weier and not of Advantax Wealth Management or subsidiaries. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only, not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Performance reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. No strategy assures success or protects against loss. This is a hypothetical example. This is not representative of any specific investment advice. Your results may vary.
Financial Health is heard every Monday at approximately 11:20 with Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management. Learn more online at weierwealthmanagement.com. You're listening to WOMT Radio, a Seahafer broadcasting station.